Yeah, so someone posted this on Reddit. Apparently, this is from the Champions Chess Tour. I think it was like Nepo playing this against someone, and the caption was something like, check out this win that Nepo missed. And I thought, okay, that sounds cool. Let's take a look. So I looked at the position for like 2 seconds. I was like, it was like 2 a.m., right? So I didn't really try to solve. I looked at it for like a second just to see like, okay, can I solve this or no? It looked complicated. I'm like, all right, let's just see it. Nepo didn't find it, so what chance do I have, right? So whatever. So I go to the solution, right? And then someone posted the answer there, and it turns out white wins here with this line, with a4. And then the idea is that after black promotes, white gives up the bishop takes c1, and then very, very strong move king to c7. And then the point there is that black's king is not going to be able to deal with white's c-pawn, and eventually black will have to give up their bishop for white's c-pawn. Like bishop g3 check, king goes to c8, and then this pawn just runs to c7, and basically white wins because he's still going to have an extra pawn in the king and pawn endgame after that. And so I did something interesting here that I realized maybe not a lot of people do. Maybe it could be useful to you guys. On Reddit, you see the board, and then you scroll down if you want to see like the comments, right? So you can't actually see the board anymore. So I imagine what a lot of people do is they look at the board, they scroll down, and then they go back up to the board, and then they try to like play out the solution in their heads, which I think is useful. But what you can also do is, like, if you look at a position with not that many pieces on a board, you can try to memorize it and try to just remember where all the pieces are and visualize the position blindfold and even calculate. And I'm sure it seems tough, but like the hardest part is starting, actually. It's just like once you start doing it, it only gets easier over time. And with fewer pieces to keep track of course, it's not as difficult to visualize as like a full, set of pieces, like a full blindfold game. So what I often do, because, okay, I can visualize and I like working on my visualization, is I'll try to play out the solution in my head without looking at the board, right? So I scroll down, I look at the note. Okay, white wins with a4, e1 equals queen, takes, king c7, exclam, bishop g3 check, king c8, exclam. And then I try to just calculate all that in my head, just like trying to remember where the pieces are. And I think this is like tough, obviously. I mean, the visualization is difficult for a lot of players, but this is a really easy way to work on it. You just take one position with a few pieces on the board and try to, you're given the moves, you're given the solution, you try to visualize it, and you can really improve your visualization, your blindfold visualization a lot by doing that, I think. I think it's just good practice. And you'll be surprised, it will get easier over time. Actually, I was just talking to one student a little while ago. He's pretty strong, but he hasn't done like a lot of blindfold chess. And we did an experiment with him because he was thinking like about doing it, and I was like, yeah, it's really good for your visualization, you should do it. I'm like, just play blindfold chess for 1 week and then see if by the end of the week you don't already feel much better about your visualization. And so his assignment was just to play one blindfold game every day for the next week, and then just see how he feels at the end of it. Like, does he feel like his visualization improved? And of course it did. Like, of course it would. It's like that's the logical thing you would expect, and that's of course what happened. And so it's like, this is just a matter of doing it a little bit over time, and over time your brain gets better and better at visualizing it. But you have to work on it. It has to be at least a little bit uncomfortable, right? Growth starts or ends at the end or beginning of your comfort zone, whatever the phrase is. Growth, comfort zone, you have to be uncomfortable. Okay, so yeah, kind of cool idea. a4. And then of course you can play it out over the board and check your visualization. And it's kind of amazing, like black can't defend this one. Here I think it's a key move here not to play c7, king c6, we lose the pawn, but king b7. And let's say, for example, here, take. Amazingly, white wins. pretty much by one tempo. If black had one more move here, it would be a draw.